All right, we are going to be analyzing the above circuit using Kirchhoff theorem. All right, so the question says we should find the current in the circuit using Kirchhoff theorem. All right, now you can see we have three loops, but we are going to consider two loops. All right, when the question comes, they did not draw this direction for us. So you are going to be the one to take your direction. You can decide to take your direction to be clockwise. You can decide to take your direction to be what? Anti-clockwise. For the sake of this lecture, I'm taking clockwise direction. So we are applying in loop 1 and loop 2. All right. So the first thing we are going to do is to apply the Kirchhoff voltage law to loop 1. So apply KVL to I1. All right. So now you will agree with me that our current is going in the same direction with the clockwise direction. And anytime we have something of such, we are going to be taking the voltage across the resistor to be what? Negative. Is that clear? But if they are going in opposite direction, we are going to take the voltage across the resistor to be what? Positive. I hope you understand that. All right, but let's start our calculation from here. This is a voltage source. So here we are moving from positive to what? Negative. I have also said this in our introduction class that the shorter arm of our voltage source is what? Negative, while the longer arm is what? Positive. So here we are moving from negative to positive. So it means that there's a voltage gain. So we are going to have 20. All right. So here from positive to negative, because current flows from positive to negative side, right? So positive to negative. So the current flowing through 3 ohms is I1. So the voltage here is going to be current multiplied by resistor, which is what? 3I1. So minus 3I1. All right. So the same thing with this. The direction is going the same direction with the current. It's going to be minus 2I1. All right. So our voltage here, look at the voltage source here, is going from positive to negative. So it's going to be what? It's going to be minus 12. Then it's going from positive to negative, that is minus 4I2. Everything equals to what? 0. All right. So if you simplify further, 20 minus 12, that is 8. So we're going to have 8. Then minus 3I1 minus 2I1, that is minus 5I1. Then minus 4I2. Everything equals to what? 0. All right. So if I move 5I1 to this side, move 4I2 to this side. So I'm going to have 5I1 plus 4I2 equals to what? Equals to 8. All right. So this will be equation 1. So equation 1. All right. So again, we are going to apply the Kirchhoff voltage law to the second loop. Apply KVL to II. All right. So let's start this from this angle here. All right. So again, this is our direction, and this is the direction of our current going the same direction with this, and the current flowing in this part is I1 minus I2. So the voltage is going to be minus 6 into I1 minus I2. All right. So our current is moving from positive to negative. So minus 6 from positive to negative, minus 10 into what? Don't forget the current flowing in this branch is I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2. All right. So from positive to negative, that is minus 18. All right. So here, the current is moving from positive to negative. So please, you need to be very careful here. All right, you need to be very careful and very observant. This is where many students will get it wrong. All right, now don't forget that this is our current I2 moving in this branch, and this is our direction. You will see that the direction here is going against this I2, and anytime our direction and our current, they are moving in opposite direction, we take the voltage here to be what? To be positive. So it shows that the voltage across this 4 resistor is going to be positive. It's going to be positive. It's going to be positive 4I2. All right, and again, we are moving from negative to positive. Our direction, this is a voltage source from negative to positive. Don't forget, we are moving in this manner, so it's going to be plus 12. Everything will be equals to 0. I hope it is well simplified. All right, now the next thing is we are going to open our bracket. So let's open our bracket together. We are going to have minus 6I1 plus 6I2 minus 6 minus 10I1 plus 10I2, all right, minus 18 plus 4I2 plus 12 will be equals to what? 0. All right, so minus 6I1 minus 10I1 is going to give us what? It's going to give us minus 16. So we're going to have minus 16I1. All right, so for I2, we are having 6I2 plus 10I2, that is 16 plus 4, that is 20. So we are going to have plus 20I2. All right, so here we are having minus 6 minus 18, that is minus 24, plus 12, that is minus 12. So I'm going to have minus 12 equals to what? 0. All right, so if we rearrange now, if we move this to that side, we're going to have 16I1. Then if we move 20 there, it's going to be minus 20I2. Then everything will be equals to minus 12, equation number 2. All right. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to divide through by 4, because 4 can divide 16, which is going to give us what? 4I1. 4 divided by this, that is 5I2. And 4 divided by this, that is minus 3, equation number 2. All right, so we are going to be solving equation 1 and equation 2 simultaneously. So from okay, let me write equation 1 and equation 2 here. Okay, let's manage this part. Equation 1 is 5I1 plus 4I2 plus 4I2, which will be equals to 8, equation number 1. All right, and equation 2, we have 4I1 minus 5I2 equals to minus 3, equation number 2. All right, so we can use elimination method. So we multiply this by 5 and we multiply this by 4. All right, so if we do that, 5 times 5, that is 25I1. All right, 5 times 4, that is 20, plus 20I2, and 5 times 8, that is 40, right? That is 40. All right, so now that is equation number 1. All right, so 4 times 4, that is 16. So we are going to have 16I1. All right, 4 times 5, that is 20. So minus 20I2 equals to 4 times this, that is a minus 12, equation number 2. All right, so if we add these two equations together, 25 plus 16, 5 plus 6, 5 plus 6 is 11. No, 5 plus 6 is yes, if we put 4 here, that's 11. So if we put 1 here, that is 41. So we are going to have 41 I1 equals to, if we add this and this, that is 0. 40 plus minus 12, that should give us if we subtract 10 from 2, that's 8. Then if we subtract 3 from 1, that's 2. So that's going to give us 28. All right, so for us to get I1 now, we divide both sides by what? 41. So we divide both sides by 41. So I1 will be equals to what? 28 divided by 41 will give us what? So if you divide 28 by 41, you get what? 0.68. So and the unit for current is ampere, so it is going to be 0.68 ampere. All right, so for us to get I2, we are going to substitute 0.68 for I1 in any of these two equations. So it's either we use equation 1 or equation 2. Let's use equation number 1. So from equation 1 we have 25, and then we're having I1 here, so it's going to be I1 into 0.68 plus 20 I2. All right, which will be equals to what? 40. All right, so if you collect like terms, we're going to have 20 I2, which will be equals to 40. Then if I move 25 into 0.68 to the other side, it's going to be minus 25 into 0.68. All right, so for us to get I2 now, we are going to divide both sides by 20. So if we divide both sides by 20, all right, so this will go with this, and I'm going to have I2 to be equals to, so if you press 40 minus 25 into 0.68 divided by 20, you get 1.15 ampere. All right, so the value of I1 is 0.68, while the value of I2 is 1.15. So this is how to apply the Kirchhoff theorems to solve the above question. And then mind you, if you are asked to calculate the current that is flowing through 6 ohms, it's going to be I1 minus what? I2. You just need to subtract and get your answer. So this is how to go about the question, and peradventure, if today is your first time coming across our content, remember to give this video a thumbs up, so at any time we upload a video like this, you'll be the first to receive the notification. And don't forget that we have all our handwritten material on circuit analysis and every other things we have been dealing with on this channel. And don't forget, we dealt with both electrical engineering students, mechanical engineering students, and civil engineering students. So you can always reach out for your assignments and the private tutoring section. Peace out.